So reminder, go out and vote if you didn't already do the early voting. I know not a lot of people like to vote on these kind of so-called off years, but there's a lot on the line. The weather's not going to get in the way, though.
No.
Perfect time to go out and cast your ballot.
You absolutely cannot blame the weather, because again, I got nothing in the forecast, and when I've got nothing in the forecast, that usually means that whatever you've got to do, go out and do it. So let's talk about this. Would you believe, channeling my inner Maxwell Smart there, those of you that grew up in the golden age of sitcom or with Nick at Night like I did, you'll get that reference. Would you believe we hit 78 today after staying in the 60s and lower 70s this weekend? That's right. Warmed up very nicely for your Monday afternoon after starting off at 46, which that's pretty close to where we're supposed to be for this time of the year. And once again, the records were not in play today. Out there right now, again, when you have that drier air in place, you know, like we've talked about at length over the last few weeks, does not take much to cool down a little bit. So we were at 78 earlier today. Notice most areas now into the lower and middle 70s, so we've already gone down a few degrees. And again, part of that is because the air is dry and cooling off. Part of that is because in the mind of the atmosphere, it's 6:15 right now. It's not 5:15. Again, that's the whole clock change thing. 71 in Mexia right now, 71 in Fairfield. Those are some of the cooler spots on the map at the moment. I did want to show you this. So there's nothing going on across central Texas. So I know what you're thinking. Why on earth would you want to show me that? And it's because I want to show you this. There is nothing going on across the entire South Plains region of the United States right now. You see just a little bit of cloud cover over some of the higher elevations there in the desert Southwest, but for the South Plains, it's nothing right now. And again, whenever you see that, you know what I'm about to show you next. That's right, high pressure very much in control of our weather. And with high pressure in control, that means we're going to stay warm, and we're going to keep that primarily boring weather in store for at least the next several days. Want to show you this too, though. We're going to get some changes here over the next several days. We're going to switch to what's called zonal flow. Now, what does zonal flow mean? That just means all of our upper level winds are blowing directly from west to east. You don't get the peaks and valleys like we see sometimes with the high and low pressure systems. And that's going to contribute to basically just some consistent weather. So we're going to get in the 80s, and we're basically going to stay that way as we head through the end of the week. So here's the next 3 days. Again, high pressure, boring weather, 77, 79, 82 there by Wednesday. So again, back into those 80s as we head towards the middle of the week. After that, we're going to start talking about some changes. These are not massive changes, trust me. We're not going to be seeing Arctic air breaking in anytime soon. But that jet stream is going to start to meander just a little bit further south. And when that happens, this time of year, that unlocks some of that colder air for the lower 48. And so what we're going to look at is where that core of kind of the coldest air is going to be. And you can say it's going to be staying well to the east and northeast of us. So yeah, we're going to cool down. But again, we're not seeing an Arctic invasion here in Texas or anything, but we'll get another cold front out of this deal as we head into the weekend. Here's your bottom line. Abnormally warm temperatures continue through the week. Cold front Saturday. As of right now, it looks like it's going to be a dry front. I don't have any rain chances there as that comes through, but at least it'll bring those temperatures back closer to normal by the time we get to Sunday. So again, here's your peaks and valleys. We're talking 80s, mid 80s there potentially by the time we get to Friday. And then as we head towards the weekend, 83 Saturday, another warm day. Front comes through, and then take a look from there. We're going to stair-step our way back down. 75 on Sunday, 70 on Monday. Again, pretty close to the averages for this time of the year. Now, by the time we get to the end of the week and early next week, our average temperature is right around 71, 72, so that's pretty close to being on the nose. But again, we've got to get through some very warm days ahead before we get there. And remember, if you want to download our 6 Plus app to keep up with our not-so-changing forecast, you can. It's free on your smart TV.